Hello, my name is Tristan. I own Roofing Rocket. Today I'm going to be going over what exactly makes my most successful clients successful and what makes my worst clients in terms of their own ROI. So how much revenue you're actually able to produce on my system depends on these factors. So we're going to maximize your ROI from any paid lead generation. It's going to work on my system. It's going to work on other people's system, although preferably use my system is probably a lot better. These are 5 principles that are going to separate your 20%, 10%, 5% close rate individuals from your 60% close rate individuals, right? The difference between a 20% and a 60% is not the leads. I've generated thousands of actual table sits for my clients from the same ad, same offer, same everything. How is one contractor closing at 20% and another at 60 or even 80%? Well, it all comes down to these principles. Now, we control the lead quality. You guys control what happens after the sit. So we will filter the leads, make sure there's no tire kickers. We're getting the volume. We're doing all the targeting, ad optimization. Hell, we're even doing the speed to lead for you. We call and qualify each and every single lead to make sure it's a real roofing opportunity. I used to be a sales rep for roofing in the past. I know exactly what's qualified, what's not. I know if it's an asphalt shingle roof, they need some granule loss or leaks or just, over 20 years old, gonna have to be replaced, right? I know they have to be the homeowner, no tenants, no buyers, no bullshit, right? And we want all decision makers on that call. So we cover all of this and the speed to lead as well. You guys just handle the sales process, the follow-up, and the tracking of your metrics. So this is about maximizing these 3 metrics. Number 1, close on the first visit, right? At least present your estimate on the first visit. All of my best closers, my best clients who close a lot, are going to the sit down where the homeowner is there and they have the estimate in hand. Either they're getting up, doing their inspection, doing the measurement, then going back to the truck and printing it out or having an iPad to run the estimate there, and then they go to the kitchen table to present, right? That way you at least have a chance at getting the signature. You can handle any objections in person, right? The biggest ROI killer that I've ever seen is contractors who are running a 2-step sales process. So you go there first, do the inspection, and then try to book another call to come back and sell to them. Now, what do you think the homeowner is thinking in that scenario? Are they thinking like, oh, great, he's going to come back and just show me a piece of paper and present me the number? No, they know it's a sales call. You know it's a sales call, which is why they're likely to show on that first one because you actually have to do the inspection and then they get the estimate, right? So there's something in it for them. If you're now postponing that secondary estimate call, you're wasting the homeowner's time, you're wasting your time, and also they know that on that appointment, you're just gonna try to sell. So they're gonna even ask for an email estimate at that point. You're not gonna be able to handle objections in real time, so your price becomes a commodity. They're gonna look at your email and look at another contractor's email and be like, oh, I'm gonna go with who's cheaper, right? Because you're not able to answer the questions or plant any seeds of doubt, which is why it's very, very important you're presenting your estimate in person, right? So the reason emailing estimate tanks your close rate is you are adding another step in the pipeline, which means your show rate drops. There's an extra point in the pipeline where you can leak revenue, right? And that will happen. You will have people no show your second appointment. You'll have people, just dick you around, not really take you serious. We don't want that. We don't even want to present that opportunity. I've had clients who have tested both. I know for certain the one call close is way better, especially for our kind of appointments that are already pre-qualified and ready to get their estimate. They need a roof replacement. You should be presenting an estimate, trying to get the sale on the first sit. You also lose control of the frame because your quote just becomes a number in a spreadsheet to them, right? You're just now it's your number versus the other guy's number. And also the operational complexity explodes. Imagine you're doing 100 appointments a month per sales guy, right? You think he's going to be able to manage not only that first appointment, so he's doing 100, but now you want him to do 200, 300 a month because of a secondary follow-up. It doesn't make sense. And you should not just be emailing the quote. You need to be there to answer their questions. So always close the deal face-to-face. Present your estimate at the appointment, handle the objections, and close before you leave the driveway. One call close is outperforming everything else, and you actually sell at higher ticket sizes too because it's the point of most deprivation. So you need to be selling the value, not the price. Do not get sold by the homeowner. So this is a common scenario when price becomes the main focus and a homeowner starts telling you, oh, I have a cheaper bid from somebody else, right? A lot of times your sales rep might panic, try to discount, lose the deal, make up some bullshit. So here's the reality check. If the homeowner had already had a cheaper quote and was happy with it, they would have signed it already, right? They wouldn't be wasting their time with other contractors. Homeowners don't love meeting roofers. They're not inviting us out just because they like talking to us, right? They have a problem, we're there to solve it. So they wouldn't sit across your rep if they weren't still looking for something. And if you insist that, oh, they have a cheaper bid, this means I need to downsell, right? Well, here's a question you can ask the homeowner that will get them to pivot into value-based thinking instead of price-based thinking. You say, oh, I totally understand, right? You have this quote from this cheaper contractor. Can I ask you something maybe a little personal real quick? And you say it like that with that tonality. Get permission to ask. And they go, okay, sure. Well, if you already had a cheaper quote, I guess what had prevented you from signing with them? And probably 2 out of 3 times, they're going to give you a reason of, oh, they didn't have a license. I didn't like the reviews. I didn't like the guy. They're going to now give you a reason why they're not just going with the lowest price. And this is actually your first little thread of value that you can pull on, right? So this forces the homeowner to articulate what they're looking at beyond price. So maybe better materials, more professional crew. They might why did they invite you out there? If they already had a cheaper bid, why not just sign with them? They might be like, oh, well, I like your guys' reviews. I thought you were a reputable company, blah, blah, blah. I really like this and that. I didn't like this other guy's, the way he did the estimate. They don't have a license. They don't have good reviews. They haven't been around as long as you, right? So the whole goal is to get any sort of value from them beyond price and switch them into value-based thinking and away from price-based thinking. So the companies in my network that are using this on average are selling probably like 30K packages. And I do have other other contractors that I used to work with that I don't really work with anymore that would just insist they have to be the lowest price and they'd be fighting over a 7K job. And then I have another guy who's selling a 60K metal roof like on the first sit down, same ads, same pipeline, same call team, same everything, just different sales process. So it really is sell or be sold, right? If the homeowner is convincing you or your rep that lowering the price is what they need to do, then the homeowner is selling the sales rep, right? That is retarded. It's sell or be sold. Either the homeowner is selling you on why they need a cheaper price, or you're selling the homeowner on why it's more valuable to go with you, why it makes more sense to go with the higher price, even if they have a lower one. So you need to find the gap in your competitor's offer, not their estimate, their offer. So what the homeowner feels like they're getting. So the reviews, the license, the warranty, the installation, the trust, your brand as a company. That is what you need to be looking for. It's not just price. I saw a statistic, and it's an overwhelming majority of homeowners, I think it's like 83%, don't even go with the lowest price bid. They go with the person that they trust and who actually makes them feel like they're getting the value they deserve, right? 83% do not go with the lowest price bid. Homeowners understand that the lowest price guy is not the best guy. If they're telling you otherwise, it's because they're selling you. Because they wouldn't even bother to do this unless they wanted you guys to do it, but at his price. It's like, okay, well, why would you prefer us to do it, right? Why would you, if it was the same price, who would you choose? Is another question you ask. And if they say, oh, why would choose you guys? Be like, oh, okay, what about us? What about why? Why would you choose us? Just out of curiosity. Be like, oh, you guys have better reviews, you have a warranty, I like this, I like that, I like this. See, now they're justifying why your price is actually higher and also the things that they value, so you can keep applying pressure on those points. And get out of the price-based, oh, I need it the cheapest price possible. They're selling you, dog. Number 3, never stop improving your sales process. I don't care if you've been in roofing for 35 years. If you're closing 10% of your cold leads, it doesn't matter. Get your ego out of here, bro. I've got guys that are closing 80%. They know how to close. If you're not closing more than 30, 40, 50%, there's always room to improve. No matter how long you've been in the industry, things adapt, things shift, things change. With the AI coming out, with the new tech coming out, right? The young guys are dominating because they're not locked into this old mentality of, oh, I can sell anything. I've been in here for 35 years. That doesn't matter. What matters is your actual close rate. What matters is how good is your actual sales process. And a lot of guys who think they have an amazing sales process, well, unless your numbers on cold traffic reflect that, then you don't. If you close 80% referrals, good job. That's normal, right? It's a referral. They already trust you. You have to be you have to be very bad at sales to mess up a referral, right? Because they're just that good. But you can't only rely on referrals and survive off referrals. You'll never grow your business. So you need to learn how to sell from cold traffic, which is different because they don't already know you, like you, and trust you, right? You didn't get that referral. So do not stop improving your sales process. I have clients that are closing literally 70% of what I put on their calendar, and I have clients that are closing at an average ticket price of 30 or 40K, right? If you don't have those stats, then you're not the best in the game. You need to keep improving, right? So it's the same ad, right? These guys, I've got guys who have unfortunately only closed like 10% of what I put on their calendar, and they're emailing quotes and not doing follow-ups and not actually going to their appointments. And I got guys who are closing 70, 80%. It's the same ads. Yes, it's different. It's branded, right? But same offer, same campaign, my same call team, my same scripts, everything that I already know works, but they're getting different results. That's because the sales process is different. And I'm giving you the sales process that my top guys are using. Please use it. Don't be an idiot, right? It doesn't matter if you've been in for 20 years if you can't sell. So selling and roofing are two very different skills. You can be the best contractor on earth, install the best roofs, and it doesn't matter because the shitty guy, if he's really, really good at sales, will still out-earn you, outsell you. And you have a moral obligation if you're actually providing quality work to sell the homeowner so that somebody with less quality work doesn't sell to that homeowner and give them a worse experience. Right? Your close rate's under 40%, you have room to improve. Invest in sales training. Do role play every single day with your team. Handling objections. Does your team know how to reply to every single objection like that? To where you can walk in the office, say the objection, and they know immediately what to say back to close the deal or reframe the situation. If not, there can be improvements made. You need to somehow find a way to record some of these sales appointments. I know it's hard. It's not easy. That's what it takes, right? That's what it takes. Are you willing to do what is required or not? And this is like $10 million company stuff. I'm not talking about you hit $1 million a year in revenue and you think you're hot shit. I got guys doing $1 million a month through my systems, right? $1 million a year is not anything. So you need to study what top performing sales guys are doing in your network and in our network, which is what I'm showing you right now, to figure out how to increase your close rate. And if you're not willing to look at your own process honestly, no amount of investing or agencies or leads or anything is going to fix your problem. So you've heard this before. You should have heard this before. The money is in the follow-up. If your reps are closing 30% of their first sits, that's great. You're already going to make a 3x on my system. You're going to have good ROI. Amazing. But with zero follow-up, you're literally leaving an extra 20 to 30% close rate on the table. If your guys are not following up, on average, I believe in roofing, it takes 8 follow-ups to close a deal on average. And that's not, hey, I'm just following up. That's actual real nurture, trust building follow-ups, right? And if you're already running 100 appointments a month per rep, that's a lot of follow-up. I know a system has to be in place or else you're literally losing 20 to 30% close rate. Right? You could double your revenue, and doubling your revenue is not like doubling your profit. It's more than doubling your profit because your overhead gets spread thinner. So it could be 5x more profit for you. So a real follow-up system is defined by contact cadence. So on day 1, call, text, email, multi-channel, right? Day 3, day 7, day 14, day 30, and you can template this out or use AI to have it customized to seem more unique, to seem more unique to the homeowner and what you guys went over and the estimate. But ideally, you want to be doing something called value-based follow-up, which one of my mentors taught me a long time ago, which is instead of just saying, hey, just following up, that's selfish as fuck. Like, get over yourself. Nobody likes that. You don't like that when I do it to you. The homeowners don't like it when you do it to them, right? So instead of just being like, hey, just following up, send them a video, send them a testimonial. Say, hey, was just seeing this. This reminded me of you, reminded me of what you were telling me in the backyard, right? Send them an article. Have articles listed out that reflect common things that you go over in your sales process. So on day 5, you can send them that article, and you can do this to everyone and say, hey, this reminded me of what we were talking about on the driveway about X, Y, and Z, right? Hey, I remember you had a question about, the boot and thought this might be of value, right? And if you do that, day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14, day 30, and the other guys are going, just following up. You get a chance to look at my estimate yet? You get a chance to look at my emailed estimate? Who do you think they're going to go with? Who do you think is really providing more value, more trust in that equation? Of course, the person who's actually sending relevant, value-based follow-up, not just, hey, did you get a chance to give me my money? So very, very high leverage. Take advantage of that immediately. And finally, if you're not measuring your numbers, how the fuck are you going to improve your numbers? If you're not measuring your sit rate, your close rate, your average ticket price, your conversion rate, how are you ever going to improve your sales process if you don't know how many of the actual appointments are sitting, pitching, presenting? And it should be all of them. You should be presenting every single appointment that you can, unless they're literally leaving the house or something comes up, right? You should be doing it all of the time. But you need to track that number. You need to track your close rate. You need to track how many touch points they have afterwards. How many follow-ups on average do your reps send? If you looked at that right now, I guarantee you it would probably be like 2 or 3. And they would be selfish-based follow-up, not even good-based follow-up, not even value-based follow-up, right? So track your close rate. Also, your ticket price, that's important. If you have a 100% close rate, but you're closing $5,000, $5,000 garage roofs, 3-tab roofs, 3-tab minimum base code roofs, you're not gonna have a good time. So you also need to measure like your upsell. But mainly sit rate, close rate, average ticket, conversion rate. Like, you need to know these things for fucking sure. So if you're not measuring it, you can't improve it. Every roofing company doing more than $10 million a year tracks these metrics. It's not even an option if you want to scale. Sit rate, close rate, average ticket size, follow-up conversion, follow-up touch points, lifetime value, referral rate. This is huge. Maybe you think your guys are great at getting referrals and you look at it and you're only getting 5% referrals. What if you could get that to, 15%? That would be a 3x in your referrals, which are more profitable anyway. That would be crazy for your business, right? But you don't know because you probably don't track it. And your average contact to close, so how many touch points before sale. The contacts to close plus the follow-up conversion in combination is going to win you a lot more jobs. The lifetime value plus the referral rate is going to skyrocket your revenue if you fix those two. So it's more than just like the top, which is what most people look at. Oh, what's my sit rate? What's my close rate? What's the average ticket size? No, you need to track the bottom as well. So what I personally do for roofing companies, I provide them high quality, exclusive table sits with homeowners within their service area who need a roof replacement. I pre-qualify, I put them on your calendar. All you have to do is show up and close. I continuously optimize my campaigns, performance, so I only get paid when they actually show up and are in need of a roof replacement and are the actual homeowner decision maker. So, if you can close on the first visit, you can sell value over price, you follow up, you track your numbers, you never stop improving, I guarantee you will have an amazing time working with me. If you don't do these things, I don't know, could be an average result. If you're literally writing your estimate on a napkin and not doing any follow-ups, probably won't get a huge return. You'll probably just break even. But if you do these things, I can tell you, all my clients that do these things make crazy returns. No guarantees. I can't guarantee you're going to wake up tomorrow, but what I can guarantee is I know how to get appointments, and if you do these things, it'll probably work really well for you. So to summarize, try to close on the first visit, always present your estimate, try to get a signature, do not email an estimate, sell based on value, not based on price, never stop improving your sales process, build a follow-up system and track your numbers. If you do this, I guarantee you will crush it with any performance-based agency that's actually good. Cheers.